This is Wadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Politicians and the traditional authorities that are engaged in these activities. Clearly, we know when you go to the Galamsey side, they will tell you themselves. President John Dramani Mahama told us that the Kufuor's government is aware of the people that are engaged in illegal mining activities.
Yamamu nyina kwa ba Wadu TV so ye best first time is mon subscribe na ye nyina like video giant comment and to comment section mu. Na Okatakyie Afrifa mensa asked me good evening Ghana one eye Paul Adom Otchere nyasa ketwa usua nyasa ketwa o ama wachechemu de nti omukọ demonstration so bie no betime sin kwan onsuru bia na abampo ekufado wo krokutia Galamsey na ekufado nyo dede echiri Mahama de so na Paul Adom Otchere achechem Zoomlion ne ye first YEA wo montokwa no Paul Adom Otchere achechem yi amanta se na ba Ghana Bar Association so nsema mo ka de afa Chief Justice YEA na esi ho se one trans na enya hwehwem ni wi no Paul Adom Otchere boebrem na yenti.
Do you all know that in the law that tonight we'll be talking about the Ghana Bar Association. So do you know that in the law there's a prosecution and there's defense? Why is there defense? Because it is not everything that the prosecution says is correct. I mean, we have to understand that at the minimum. One day you'll be on the side of the wrong story. One day you'll be on the side of the lies. One day you'll be on the side of stories that are perpetrated immorally and stories that have an underpinning of personal hatred. You will be on the side. It is for that reason that God gives us defense and prosecution. And even our Lord Jesus Christ, what is he called? He is called a defender. He is the one he advocates for those who are being prosecuted, because the devil always prosecutes man before the court of heaven, and Jesus Christ is the one who says no. I mean, is that not so? Those of us who are Christians, is that not so? Jesus Christ, our advocate, he's a defender. Why is defense important? Because sometimes, not all the time, sometimes the prosecution by some people is animated by hatred, is animated by dislike, is animated by frustration, is animated by all kinds of evil. And we don't blame them because there's evil in the world. So tonight, what we are going to tell you is true. You can verify it, it's verifiable. And if there's something in there that you think you don't agree with us, you can always send to Good Evening Ghana Official. So we heard today that this week has been going on. Our friend Manasseh Azuri, for the last 13 years, he's been working on Zoomlion story 1-3, a particular Zoomlion story, YEA, Youth Employment Agency. Let's get into the touch screen and let's get the details of what is red, what is blue, what is true, and what is untrue. So let's start. Come with me. The Zoomlion YEA relationship. Okay, so this is the Zoomlion and YEA relationship. And we have to understand that I think there's been one line of falsity perpetrated here. The assumption is being that the person here, which is the YEA person, is Zoomlion's employee. And so this is YEA, Youth Employment Agency. They have these people, and these people work, and Zoomlion supervise. So what does it say here? YEA engages Zoomlion as a service provider to equip and supervise the YEA recruits in their youth and sanitation program. So what is youth and sanitation program? Youth and sanitation program is a model that was developed by the John Mahama, maybe the Mills John Mahama administration. And it was a model that is to sort of give a gap, almost like what Akufo-Addo did with NAPCO. A certain gap between people who are home looking for work, young people, they don't have anything to do. Let them come in, be trained in this model. So there were several models. You remember youth in Confirm, youth in media, youth in sanitation, youth in all of that. So the important entrepreneurs in Ghana at the time wanted to dream up something in their area so that government will use them to supervise and train these people whilst government pays. So what we have to understand is that the person who is working, the one whose salary we are all complaining about, and we are all complaining about it. Nobody is happy that a Ghanaian works for YEA and is paid the amount of money we are hearing, 230 something a whole month. Nobody is happy about it. And I can tell you, and tonight I'll be showing you, that Zoomlion himself is not happy about it. And the fact that the people are getting paid what they paid today, which is still inadequate, is because Zoomlion himself The service provider has been telling government, and there are documents to show. In fact, as at this stage, if Zoomlion had its own way, this man here will be paid 500 cedis. I'll show you. If Zoomlion here had its own way in terms of how to pay these people here will be earning 500 cedis. The documents are there. But the problem is that the people who are prosecuting, they have that document. So they have the document here, they turn it over. They don't tell the general public. Why? Because they're taking advantage of the fact that they have a microphone, they have a pen, other people are doing other things. They don't have that time. So they have a pen and they put out the agenda, and then they will deliberately obscure information that will give light to the people of Ghana when they are assessing this. That's very bad. What Manasseh Azuri sometimes does is that he will deliberately obscure information about the YEA Zoomlion situation, which will make Ghanaians have the light to understand what is happening. He likes his people who are listening to him to follow him, and then he leads them onto his own conclusion. You can do that all the time anywhere, but you have to tell the whole story so that people have the ability also to make their own determination, if you will. Let's move on. A lot to say. So Zoomlion performs two main groups of functions. One is the contract terms, and there's something called out of contract terms. So I'll explain as I go on. What are the contract terms? And it's here. These are the contract terms that Zoomlion performs. One, training of beneficiaries on the operational and technical aspects of their job, deployment of beneficiaries in the respective district, supervision and monitoring, provide sanitary tools, equipment, PPEs and waste, blah, 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 provide fuel to run administrative, blah, 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 store, maintain, and da. Okay, I know people want to know why is Zoomlion paying to, I'm getting there, don't worry, I'm coming there. Now, all of these things Zoomlion gets paid for. Zoomlion is not doing these things for free. Zoomlion gets paid for these things. Government pays Zoomlion for these things. Now let's see what government does not pay Zoomlion for, which Zoomlion still has to do. Let's move on. It's here. Out of contract terms. Now these are costs Zoomlion still bears despite not being required to do so. So under the contract, Zoomlion is not required to do these things. The first one, as I showed you, government pays Zoomlion for doing that. That's the contract. So government pays Zoomlion for doing this. Okay. Now, you can argue about how much government pays Zoomlion, how much they should pay more and they shouldn't pay more. That's okay. But these are the things that Zoomlion does under the contract that government pays them for. Okay. Now, these things over here, government does not pay for it. Outside of this, Zoomlion has gone further to enhance the scope to undertake the following to achieve the project's objectives. Zoomlion does not get paid for any of this. One, the team leads, about 3,000 people, are paid additional 50 cedis, which is a cost to Zoomlion. Now, Zoomlion's put them in cluster, and because he's supervising, he decides that you must have a team leader, okay? So the team leader is given an additional 50 cedis by Zoomlion. Of the people who are working in the YEA situation, there are 3,000 of them who are team leaders. Government will never reimburse Zoomlion for this. Zoomlion himself comes out of the model and says that it is not fair for the team leader to earn the same. So let's pay the team leader. So let's take some of what government is giving us for our service and then give it to the team leaders. All together, this is what happens. 3,000 people get this more. Okay. Zoomlion bears the cost of accident, death, and welfare and related issues. So yes, the people are working. They are working for government. But Zoomlion is supervising it. If the person is injured one way or the other, they go there at dawn. They start to sweep, and then the rain pours, and somebody slips, and he hits his elbow. It is Zoomlion's responsibility, and Zoomlion has been up to that responsibility since 2013, taking care of many. I've asked them to send me the medical bills. They will, and I'll share with you how much they've done in that regard. Yes, I know about why are they paying them 230. I'm coming there. So let's move on. Zoomlion bears the cost of accident, death, and all that. Zoomlion bears the operational and administrative infrastructure cost, offices, pickups, motorbikes, bicycles, all of that. Zoomlion purchases and maintains the electronic data management and the pay system. So this is what Zoomlion does that are out of pocket. Now let me give you an example. Assuming that the YEA people are cleaning International Conference Center, the road in front of International Conference Center in Accra, or if you want to go talk of Kumasi, the road in front of KMA, the Hapa Road area in Kumasi, you want to talk of Takrade, the Market Circle area. Assuming they've cleaned all of these places in the morning, and then in the evening, there's a function at the conference center by the government, Zoomlion is required to get the place ready again. When they call the people to come back and work, that one, Zoomlion pays them. So it's called afternoon shift. So they work in the morning. If in the afternoon there's anything has happened that needs cleaning, any government function, Zoomlion calls them and pays them according to the rate. Now, when Zoomlion is paying them for the afternoon shift, he pays them more than the 238 because the 238 is legislated in the contract. But when Zoomlion says, Charlie, you guys come back and do this because President Mahama is coming to launch this thing, he pays them. So that's what we need to know before we come to why is Zoomlion paying them 3 something. And then he goes on to say, for any task beyond the stipulated 4 hours, holidays, cleanup campaigns, and other state functions, Zoomlion bears the cost. When you see that international people have come to Ghana, blah, 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 a lot of times Zoomlion is cleaning the road with the same YEA people and is bearing the cost. Let's move on. So it's quick. What are the main media concerns about the contract? And this is the point. So viewers have now arrived at what you are waiting for. This is the part of the contract that's interesting. The sums of money given to the YEA workers, it's a matter of concern. It's a matter of concern everywhere. And the late occasional payments to the YEA workers, that's also a matter of concern. Now, I have heard many people talk about this, that the money is not enough. The money is not enough. I've heard that so many times. I have myself asked Dr. Ejapon that this Zoomlion money that is not enough. I have seen text messages, documents. I've heard him on the phone talking to them and said, I've heard all of that. President Mahama is concerned about the payment to the people. President Akufo-Addo was concerned about it. The same way they are concerned about everything government. But you know that the government always works in a limited budget. Let's see how Zoomlion is still progressing to ensure that these guys are paid at least 500 cedis. As at today, if Zoomlion had its own way, it would be 500 cedis. I'll show you why. Okay, let's move on. The sums of money given to YEA workers. It says that the agency, that's YEA, shall pay to Zoomlion, blah, 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 blah. So the point we are making is that we just want to emphasize that the money that is determined to be paid to the workers is not a decision of Zoomlion. It's a decision of YEA. I'm sure you've heard that. But that is a decision of YEA. It does not mean that it's a good thing. That is a decision of YEA. It does not exclude Zoomlion from blame. I know that. That you can't say that, oh, it's not our own, it is government that pays. So no, Zoomlion goes beyond that. Zoomlion understands that he is not excused from blame just because government is doing it. So he does other things to augment the process, while Zoomlion is the one who has negotiated with government right from the beginning, from 50 cedis to 100 cedis to 130 to 238. Now the latest contract, government was proposing 300, Zoomlion was proposing 500. This is just last year, September. Government was proposing 300, Zoomlion was proposing 500. Okay, there's a letter from my friend Kofi Ejapon, which is making the rounds. I'll come to that in a minute, don't worry. We'll deal with it. Okay, so the late occasional payments to YEA workers. Zoomlion ordinarily performs pre-finance payments to the workers on behalf of YEA when YEA cannot provide the money. Now, this is the most sensitive part of the deal. And this is the part that breaks my heart when people are shouting against Zoomlion. The reason why Zoomlion is the one who pays, we now know that it's not because Zoomlion is the one paying them, but government is paying them. Government has set up a youth for sanitation model. Government says, I don't have money to pay. Zoomlion's ordinary responsibility is a service provider. They are providing service and all of that. But government has given them additional responsibility. That's Zoomlion. You see, once we have agreed on the figures, you, Zoomlion, go to bank, borrow the money, and pay them for the first 3 months. You are not paying them for the first 3 months, just the workers. So Zoomlion is paying itself for the first 3 months. He has to find money to buy this, to buy that. It's not part of his core business, but it's a service it's provided to government to earn money out of it. But government says that, okay, you pay the people. Now, that's the part that makes me sad. No company, I can assure you viewers, those of you who understand international contracts and all, you can testify. No company will do that except if they are Ghanaian. You cannot ask a Lebanese company to come and do your YEA model and tell them that they should pay 3 months in advance, and then you will pay them back 3 months later. And since government said they will pay back 3 months later 13 years ago, no government has ever obliged to pay 3 months later. They always pay. Right now, the IRS is 2 years. So Zoomlion pays the first 3 months. Abai, Pachosikana are ready. Oh, Dr. Ejapon, you're ready. Ubenya Kakrana. Then he's on the phone scrambling to bank managers. He's calling this bank, that bank. He takes small from here, small from there. Why do the banks give him the money? He uses the company Zoomlion's projections to do the collateral. If the government doesn't pay, the bank is sorted. They will come for Zoomlion's things. His factories, his compost plants, his this, his that. That's what he uses for the collateral. To borrow the money from the bank so that the YEA project can run. so that Ghana is clean, so that there's no malaria. Go and check. The incidence of malaria has gone down this year. The incidence of malaria in Ghana is 8%. When I said, hooray, fantastic. It has come from 70-something% in the early 2000s to 8% today. The incidence of malaria is 8%. I call some of my friends who have children who are about 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And half of them were reporting to me that they've never thought about it. But a 15-year-old child has never had malaria. By the time I was 15 years old in Ghana, in 19-something, I had malaria 2 million times. A child is 15 years. Viewers, check with your friends. A child is 15 years in Ghana, born in Ghana, has never had malaria. Because today, the incidence of malaria is 8%. If you want to understand why, you have to come to Zoomlion. And you have to come to the YEA project. These are some of the things that happen that sometimes you would wish that our people would look at it with a bit of sense of patriotism. It's not always to throw the baby and the bathwater out together. A bit of love for country. A bit of patriotism. When you stand there shouting, Zoomlion is a thief. He has stolen for 13 years. You don't talk about Italian company. When we were growing up, viewers, there was CP, Construction Pioneers. They were in Ghana before we were born. They are still in Ghana. They were making money on roads. And they take all the money back. All the companies, the farm milk that we take on the yogurts, PPPP, it's not a Ghanaian company. When you buy yogurt on the PPP and you buy the bull fruit and the meat pie, it's not a Ghanaian company. The money they pack it to get changed to dollars is gone. When you make a call, 024-666-789, the call you make, the money you paid, it's not Ghanaian. It's South African. It is great. There's no problem with that. We're a beautiful country. We welcome everyone. But I'm saying that people must understand that when you have a local company performing an essential service, it means a whole lot to the sustainability of the country. This YEA project would have collapsed if we didn't have that. Let me move on. They are urging me to move on. Are the claims that the workers are paid below the minimum wage accurate? I don't even want to go there. Whether the claims of the minimum wage are accurate or not is not important. The allegation against Zoomlion is that he's a wicked man and then he takes money from government and then throws some peanuts to say the people who are working, and that is it. And I don't really understand why. Manasseh Azuri is here. Dr. Manibo Ama is here. There's a reason why he's here. I'll mention it. Julius Debra is here. Every story about Zoomlion that has been told in the last 1 week is not new. It's a rehashing of what Manasseh Azuri started 13 years ago. I do not understand why, and I've spoken to Manasseh about this, people have confronted him about it. Why do you focus on the Ghanaian company for 13 years? In between focusing on the Ghanaian company, governments have changed. Many governments have changed. Today, Manasseh Azuri resurrects a story about Julius Debra, that when Julius Debra was Minister for Local Government, he and Zoomlion and Collins Dauda misappropriated some $74 million. If you like, take that story, Google it. It shows up 10, 12 years ago. Julius Debra was Minister for Local Government. He became Chief of Staff under President Mahama. His party lost elections. They went into opposition for 8 years. A new government came. Viewers, is it believable that a new Akufo-Addo government will come to power and Julius Debra has appropriated $74 million with Collins Dauda and they won't say anything about it? That shows you that some of the things Manasseh says, they are hogwash. They are not true. They are not verifiable. Today, he has resurrected the story. Oh, Collins Dauda and Julius Debra, they just stole money. And then he's trying very hard to make the government of the NDC, the new NDC government, feel that Zoomlion is a problem. He did that with Akufo-Addo. He tried hard to show that the Zoomlion was a problem. Akufo-Addo, being who he is, interrogated the matter forcefully. In fact, before Akufo-Addo, John Dramani Mahama, when Manasseh first published this story, and viewers, if you don't see RLD again, Roland Agambiri, Roland, how are you? If you don't see RLD on the market anymore, it's because of Manasseh Azuri. So Manasseh did his investigations in the YEA models, and Marietta Brew is still around. She was Attorney General. They went in to do a thorough investigation of the YEA model. They came up with a verdict that some of the models must be cancelled, but the sanitation model must be maintained. And Zoomlion was not asked to pay anything. as in pay something back, as others were asked to pay back to the state. Manasseh claims that Zoomlion was asked to pay 140 million cedis. It's not true. It's not found anywhere. It's not verifiable. In fact, if you look at the last page of the report, which I don't have time to show today, it was commending Zoomlion for the way in which Zoomlion managed the sanitation model. And today, the sanitation model is about the only model standing in the YEA process. Why does our brother Manasseh have to forcefully find that Zoomlion, something must happen, they must cancel the thing, the company must collapse? All the foreign companies that have been doing Ghana bad from the time of Kwame Nkrumah, has it collapsed? Viewers, I don't know how old everybody here is, but the Lavender Hill, those of us who live in Accra, there's something called Lavender Hill. It is 100-year-old disgrace to Ghana. The stench on the Lavender Hill since 1920 up to when the Zoomlion sorted it out. He went to build a whole plant so that sewage will not be discharged into the water to create a stench at the Lavender Hill. Do you think if his company was from Bermuda, they would do it? They will come and do their business in Ghana and go away. When the president, Mahama, called Zoomlion and said, Chief, this thing, you have to do something about it. Zoomlion looked at it and he has to go and borrow money because he's Ghanaian. And he was telling me that Lavender Hill, now it's me, the pa, mi sono, na me papa. Oni me ko ye koto dokunu bi wo ho na de bruta na me ntia se baba say na dokunu de sa nti me nyi na me hu ye na president mama kan ne eto makoma so na me ho popo dam se ade we ye beye, and he was able to achieve it. So I don't know why Manasseh Azuri will do that. Today I heard there was a conversation with the NDC, an inside conversation. Omanebo Ama is reported to have showed up in the conversation. Omanebo Ama came and said that Manasseh doesn't want to hear his name, and they should stop dealing with it. When they were in power, this thing Manasseh did with that is fought thing against President Mahama. Omanebo Ama is angry that why are NDC people even listening to Manasseh? This is the same guy who came to say things that are not true. He exaggerated everything and cost us the election of 2016. Why is anybody listening to him? Doc, the soldiers doing. I'm sure everything is fine. He's holding his cross. He's a Catholic. But these are some of the things. I don't like that a journalist is being spoken about in a way that he's so unpatriotic. I criticize Manasseh's work because it's Akachi, I don't like it. And I see that it's changing, so I won't talk about it again. It's changing. All the journalists are moving away. The Fourth Estate said they don't want him in there. Some people asked me today, when we were preparing for this, that, Chairman, you two, listen, you're a Zoomlion man. Every day you say the thing Manasseh is saying is wrong. Well, it is a court not there. You should go and sue him. So when they asked the question to the Zoomlion, but why doesn't Chairman sue him? They said, Chairman, he doesn't do that. He's not interested. He doesn't do that. He says that he will give everything to God and that his work will show. The work he does, it will show. He's not here to come and sue anybody. You, Manasseh, you published something against Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo sued you at National Media Commission. Joy FM sacked you. After 3 years of me shouting here that Joy FM sacked you, Joy FM issued some funny statement. And Manasseh was not sacked. He retired. Oh, please. There's something called natural law, and there's something called positivist law. When Sextus Tacinus raped Lucretia during the period of Tripetinus, the law on rape had not been promulgated. The people in Italy punished Sextus Tacinus for a law that was not written. So don't come and give us that hogwash. We are human beings and we understand natural circumstances. Joy FM sacked him because he couldn't stand the test of the trial at the National Media Commission when he said Akufo-Addo had a militia. He couldn't stand the test of time. Lighthouse, they have sued him. It is widely believed that the Fourth Estate could not stand the test of time. They have sacked him. I don't like him being sacked from Fourth Estate or Joy FM. I don't benefit, I don't care. But it speaks of a certain kind of journalism that is creeping into the situation which wasn't there before. Why are you a journalist and you are fixated on a particular person for 13 years who is Ghanaian, who is doing so much? Do you know how many people have benefited from the YEA? You may say that the salary is low, and the salary is very, very low. But look at the other side of it. Look at the other side of it. Let's not just think about the money. Look at the country. If we have 20 Zoomlions in Ghana, one in sanitation, one in IT, one in transport, one in agriculture, do you know where Ghana has gone? Shouldn't we be creating more Zoomlions? Chief of Staff, I like the Kwewu Summit that you've been talking about. I love it. I love the Kwewu Summit. And I love what you said, that the bank should find 5 people, give them money. By the time we do that for 25 years, Chief of Staff, we have gone very far. Tell Manasseh Azuri that he must love Ghana. He must at least love Ghana. Manasseh Azuri, he must have Ghana in his mind. We all want what we want. I want Arsenal to lose. You want Liverpool to win. Everybody wants what they want. But at the end of the day, we cannot compromise on Ghana. Ghana. This is Ghana. Manasseh Azuri must think about Ghana. He should think about Ghana small. Only small. Manasseh must think about Ghana. And people who have set out to do great things for Ghana, whatever it is, he must. But for 30 years, you are saying they should sack Zoomlion. Nobody is minding you. Akufo-Addo doesn't mind you. John Mahama doesn't mind you. Mills doesn't mind you. And every day you are talking, and these are government people who have the systems and the structures to look at it. Zoomlion is a businessman. He's doing his work. But the kind of business he does, because it's essential service, the sanitation, sometimes he's boxed into all kinds of situations where he and the banks are in a tussle. Because the banks are saying that, hey, chairman, if you don't bring the money, we'll come after your property. Then he's calling the minister. Minister, finance minister, Zoomlion is always chasing letters in finance, Ministry of Finance. Ask your friends who work at Ministry of Finance. Every floor, Zoomlion knows the name of the person in the office. Yanko who akest or no 6th floor, Yanko or room 15. He open it because Zoomlion is always looking for letters just to go and give to the bank so that the bank doesn't come after, because all the money that he's paid, government has not paid him back. Manasseh Azuri doesn't know that. The numbers of people that Zoomlion employs, the Zoomlion company should collapse. And if it collapses, what do you get? What do you get? What has Zoomlion got from Metro TV? Zoomlion gets 0 from Metro TV. 0, 0, 0, 0. Come to Metro TV. See the edifice he put up with his own money. He gets 0 from Metro TV. We went to him and said, Chairman, we are dying. If you don't come, the Metro TV owner, he's packing his things. He's gone back to Lebanon. He said he's not interested anymore. We are dying. Ask Randy Abe, the chief executive of Cocoa Board. Me and him, we went to Zoomlion begging, so that our careers will not be ended. Good morning, Ghana, and good evening, Ghana will not die. Zoomlion looked at the thing. Even the debt of Metro TV, it was in millions of dollars. The debt, you remember, viewers, Snit came to close us down. This one came to millions of dollars. Zoomlion, Metro TV owed Snit. What does he care about Metro TV? He's Ghanaian. He will not allow. In fact, I even went to lobby ministers. I lobbied President Akufo-Addo. Mr. President, can you call Zoomlion and tell him that the Metro TV transaction? He says, oh, I forgot. You told me before. Okay, I'll do it. Then you forget again. I'll call Abuja and Charlie, tell the old man that the Zoomlion thing, you should call him. Charlie, we beg. This is 2017. And then finally, Zoomlion says, okay, I'll do it. After he did it and paid off the people to go away, the debt that came, till today, Zoomlion has gotten 0 from 0. In fact, negative. He came to this edifice. He built a new Metro TV. Go and check what he's doing at Laboni. He didn't abandon it all. He said, move out of this place because it's unhygienic. That's what he told us. He came, he said, now how my bathroom when? He said, hey, now steps, when I said, where there a hazard? We were all laughing. I said, chairman, that's what we've been using for 10 years. He said, now Metro TV didn't have that. Oh, and yo, where did you cry? He said, clear off from here. Go and look at Laboni, the beautiful edifice that he's putting up. What is he going to get from it? Nothing. But it's going to employ all of the young people so that they get something. Manasseh Azuri must understand that there's something called Ghana. It is important. Maybe if he thinks that he has a problem with Zoomlion and it is verifiable, Office of Special Prosecutor is there. You should go and tell him that Zoomlion stole 74 million. He and Collins Dada and Julius Debra, they stole this amount of money. Julius Debra has just become Chief Justice. He's doing his co-summit. Then Manasseh is talking about he has stolen 74 million. Where from all this? What is that? What is all that? Charlie, it's not good. Please, play the song for Manasseh. The song we started with. Play it now, loud. Play it. 2 minutes, and then we'll move on. Okatakyie is ready. 2 minutes. Please play that one whilst I salute Chairman.
Ma omenyi musem yewe yase na drinwa nopa ewia na brenyina se uri bompa ya kaigana sufre unyankopon fagana shedisa enona uyo mambapa enona uodo Odoma woman and Noadeya Odoma woman and Noarana Yerishe Odoma woman and Noadeya
says, "Oh, Bompire, Kai Ghana." Tell Manasseh that when he's praying, you should remember Ghana. Chairman, we salute you. Whatever the storm is, you have always passed over every storm. The Lord is with you. Because you see, you remember the guy who had a conversation with Jesus Christ. When he went to him and he said that, are you the Lord? He said, "Oh, don't leave me alone." He said, No, I know you are. He said something that is instructive. He said, because except a man is with God, he cannot do the things that you are doing. Chairman, except God be with you, you can't come from where you have come from to this level. He now has companies in 18 African countries. And Manasseh thinks that all the 18 African countries, they are corrupt, all their presidents are thief, all these, and he has African Cup of Nations. It occurred in 2008. They asked him to come and clean. Issa Hayatu, the CAF president, I was there, I was working for Kofi Amon at the time. Issa Hayatu, go and ask President Kwa, ask Brobe. Issa Hayatu said, "Hey, who did the cleaning for the championship? I went to Second D. Wow, after the game, I saw them, it was so beautiful. Who is it?" Issa Hayatu thought it was a Spanish company. They said, "Oh, it's a Ghanaian company." When he saw Zoomlion, he said, Are you the one who did the cleaning? Zoomlion said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Look, come to Angola and come and clean for the African Cup of Nations." This is a testimony that Manasseh hates. He hates this testimony. He doesn't like it. He's not happy about it. He is angry about it. I mean, give Zoomlion some benefit. Give Zoomlion some common sense argument. Give Zoomlion some morality. Give Zoomlion some standard. The guy has achieved. He has achieved. Whether you like it or not, he has achieved. You, Manasseh, Small Joy FM, they sack you. What's it called? Fourth Estate, Suleiman Brahma has sacked you from that one too. You are working in America. You do one course for another certificate, another. We don't even know where you are going. We don't know where you are going. We are in Ghana. We are missing you. Manasseh, come back to Ghana. We are missing you. Come and sit here and let's do the work. Or you don't have work to do. If you come to that place, they will sack you. Then they sack you. Because you are motivated by hatred. You need to repent. Read John 3:16 and repent. The hatred in Manasseh's heart is just too much for Zoomlion. Why? Because you went to him that day. I was there. You said you want to see him alone. He says he won't see you alone. Hey, everything goes basa. The hatred is too much. Samson Ladi, tell your clients that the hatred is too much. We have all been through 8 ups and downs, long, word everywhere is Ghana. We are still in Ghana. Election 2024 will come. Ghana. Election 2028 will come. Ghana. 32 will come. Ghana. Manasseh Azuri. Be Ghanaian for once. Ghana is more important than your ego, than you making the headlines. Because in any case, you will make the headlines a joy. Then they sack you. For unprofessional conduct, you go and see people training you, say, Akufo-Addo has done militia. They sack you. You go and see some pastors tell you something. You say darkness in lighthouse. They sack you. You do, then they sack you because you don't think about Ghana. Hey, Mr. President, how are you? Did you watch the thank you tour? Please, Dr. Baumia says that you are the best. Have you heard it? Oh, we miss you. Dr. Baumia said it. He said it. He said you are the best. But the thank you tour was brutal. Kennedy Japan says something. I've heard all the negative things that people are saying about it, but I don't think it's that bad. You see, they're a family. MPP is a family, like NDC is a family, every political party is a family. They have had an election. They have had problems. You remember the Kwesi Botchwey report? It came. The Kwesi Botchwey report said that John Mahama should not work with Standogbe anymore. John Mahama continued to work with Standogbe because he has trust in him. 2024, John Mahama won the election. Does it mean the Kwesi Botchwey report was wrong? No. Does it mean it was wrong for John Mahama to work with Standogbe? No. But that is how life is. Things change. Things happen. Things happen outside the prediction. That's why those who learn economics will tell you that there's an underlying matter in economics that says all things being equal. Sometimes they say other things being equal. So if Kennedy Japan is fighting with Abronye, it's okay. I can understand that the tempests were too high. And over Kennedy, you remember somebody told you that you should calm down, Kennedy Japan, another really very good man, very, very good man. And now they started saying that Dr. Baumia is blaming Akufo-Addo for the... Dr. Baumia said at the thank you tour that Akufo-Addo's record, posterity will be kind to Adodi. Posterity will be kind to Adodi. Because what Adodi has done, September is coming. We have bought sanitary pass, but we don't have money to pay school fees for people to go and learn. We don't have that money, but we have money to buy sanitary pass. No problem. September is coming. If they tell you that you have to pay school fees for secondary education, I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. But I'm hearing they will. You will remember Adodi. You may not remember him because you can pay for your secondary education. But there are many people who can't pay for their secondary education. And that's what Dr. Bawumia was talking about. The things Adodi has done. One district, one factory, they say they've cancelled it. They say they've cancelled it. They won't do it. One village, one day, they say they've cancelled it. Well, they've replaced it with something. Mahama Cares or Batampa, da. It's fine, no problem. But at the end of the day, when you are finished, you remember Adodi. Many years ago, viewers, forgive me, my stories are many because of my associations. Many years ago, a military brigadier general, that's how he ended. At the time he was speaking to me, he was a major. Very, very good friend of my father's. My father had died. He said, Kwaku, I was driving, he was driving, I was sitting in his car and he was driving. You know, at that time, I just learned how to drive, so I was just monitoring how he's driving. We were going by the LWAC Stadium. And then I asked him that, Daddy, I used to call him Daddy because he was my father's friend. And we all like football. I said, were you at this LWAC Stadium when Hasselfolk did the thing? Because when I was growing up, there was a story that my father and his friends, the Hasselfolk miracle at LWAC, Mohamed Polo scored the second goal, 5-1 against them. They were always talking about it, the Has miracle at the LWAC Stadium. So I asked him that, were you at the LWAC Stadium when that happened? He said, oh, no, he wasn't. At that time, he was not that old. Then he said that as for this LWAC Stadium, we will thank Achampong for it. And I said, what does he mean? He says, Achampong who built the LWAC Stadium. I said, Achampong, because we all grew up laughing at Achampong. Because the things they told us, Achampong, he likes women, he does this, Achampong is foolish, Achampong, that's the staple they fed us on, that Achampong is useless. The former president Achampong, they say he's useless. That's what they told us. They say Achampong, when they go and tell him that the Ghana Bar Association is on strike, Achampong thinks it's bar where they are selling drinks. They said all those things. Now, Adams told me, oh, I didn't mention his name. He told me that, Kweku, one day, I was in secondary school, I was in Presec, 6th form. He said, one day, we will thank Achampong in this country. It sounded to me like, what is Daddy talking about? Achampong. He said, one day, Ghana, we will thank Achampong. Then he told me that, you want to go to Legon? I said, oh, wallahi, I'll go to Legon. At those days, that was our ambition, you know. He said, go and look at the annexes in Legon. Achampong built all the annexes. Legon Hall Annex, Sabah Hall Annex. One day we'll thank Achampong. Today, Dr. Bafwa Jimanduya, one of the revered professors of political science, has written a book dedicated to the glory of Achampong. That's how life is. Today, we talk about Achampong, the president who never traveled. He bought a presidential jet, he never traveled. The president who revolutionized agriculture. Kutu Achampong, today he's eulogized. Because you see, when you're a president and you are doing things, sometimes people who don't get to do the things can spin things against you, and they say all sorts of things about you. When you see Achampong's press conference today, the quality of English he speaks, it is unthinkable that a person like that did not understand that the Bar Association is a bar association of lawyers. But they said all this about him. Akufo-Addo, Dr. Bawumia says that history will be kind to you. Now, let's talk about the situation. So Kennedy is unhappy that some people are talking anyhow. Allow him to vent. It's okay. He shouldn't vent too much, but allow him to vent. Allow him to express himself. In any case, within the same hour, Kennedy Ajaapong and Abronya were shaking hands. Allow Abronya also to express himself. Yeah, if you can start this video, they'll see it properly. This is Dr. Bawumia addressing the team, and then you will see Kennedy Ajaapong. Yeah, there it is. Kennedy Ajaapong talking to Abronya. This was in the same hour after they fought, and then they are talking. That is how it works. That's how it should work. That is what democracy is about. That is what peace is about. And that is what family feud is about. Siblings fight. We fight and then we recover. We fight and we recover. That's Kennedy Ajaapong and Abronya making peace. So why is everybody making about this? Well, it's okay. We are all entitled to talk. But this is what happened. And I'm saying that allow people to vent. We've gone into an election. We've lost the election. We are come out of the election. Allow people to vent. When Kwesi Botchwey wrote his report, people were venting. Eventually, in the end, John Mahama won one of the biggest victories. That's Kennedy pleading with the vice president, former vice president, that he wants to take his seat. And the vice president saying that there will be a showdown. It's a united front. And they will have to generate a unity among themselves. Did I say a unity? They will have to generate unity among themselves so that they can be competitive in the next election. So let me come back to the touch screen and say goodbye to everyone. But Dr. Bawumia made the point. Dr. Bawumia made essential points at the conference. He talked about they understanding the reasons for the defeat. Kennedy Japan made a great point about the polling station executives, bringing them together and making sure that this works. People are criticizing, is it a thank you tour? Is it this, is that this? Well, whatever you want to call it, there has to be some tour. There has to be a connection between Dr. Bawumia and the grassroots. Again, since the election was lost, there has to be a connection between Kennedy Japan and the grassroots. The two of them were in the finals of the primaries. Kennedy got 30%, Bawumia got 60%. The two of them were in the saddle. So it is important that the two of them are seen reconnecting with the base. There will be a contest later on, for sure. There will be a contest. Nothing will change that. Akufo-Addo will be in his house smiling, and people are saying all sorts of things about him. Hey, Akufo-Addo is not about me anymore. Hey, Akufo-Addo is this. Hey, Akufo-Addo is that. I have told these people I'm going to visit him this week. I'll be visiting the president. I'll report it to you. Everything that happens, I'll tell you. When I meet him, we're going to have a long conversation, and I'm looking forward to that. Mr. President, I'll be coming to see you as I've promised. We're going to look forward to that. Let's look. The warrior is in green. You got to be ready. The warrior is wearing green. You know that's the warrior. Okatakyie Afrifa. You're on air now. You're on TV now.
Right.
Ghana Bar Association, they have issued a bullet. They say that John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency the President, stop what you are doing. Stop it. Stop cry before we get angry. Stop. Cry. Don't go near there. Do you know where the Bar Association has come from? The first president of the Ghana Bar Association was Wafa JB Dankwa. Hey, Bar Association has come from far. In the Champon days, they led the revolution. Hey, in the Rawlings days, they fought it very hard. When you brought 1992 Constitution, they boycotted, but they contributed to it. They went to court. Go and look at the Ghana Bar Association law reports. Don't go there, President Mahama. Don't try. Let's see what the Bar Association said. Okay. 1. Revocation of suspension. The Ghana Bar Association calls for the immediate revocation of the suspension of the Chief Justice as it considers the suspension to be unconstitutional, considering the fact that the president, who is not a judge or a judicial officer, exercises discretion to suspend the Chief Justice under Article 14610 of the 1992 Constitution in the absence of a published constitutional instrument, statutory instrument, or regulations governing the exercise of his said discretion as required by Article 296 of the Constitution. The Ghana Bar Association hereby also calls for the immediate enactment of a clear and comprehensive regulation relating to the matters under Article 146 of the Constitution, the Republic of Ghana, etc., etc. In addition, the Ghana Bar Association calls upon President of the Republic of Ghana to immediately release the full decision establishing a prima facie case against the Chief Justice consistent with established precedent. This disclosure is necessary to ensure that the process is conducted in accordance with the principles of transparency and fairness. Now, I'd like to expand on this a little bit. The Bar Association is saying, and I've seen Dr. Kwesi Prempeh's document, it just came to me as I was going to the studio. Kwesi Prempeh seems to be arguing against it, and I'm completely confused. Now, on the first one, where they are talking about regulations, people are going to Dateba, but I think that Dateba must be read well. Dateba says that where the person is not a judicial officer, he has to publish regulations, but when he's a judicial officer, you can't ask him to publish regulations to exercise his discretion because he's already a judge, he's a judicial officer. That's what Dateba says. Dateba didn't say that anybody who exercises of discretion cannot publish anything. You are not a judicial officer, Mr. President, so you have to publish the regulations. Forget about that. That's very legalist and that's technical. But let's come to the basic one. You say that the Council of State found something against Justice Tokonum. The Bar Association is saying that show us the thing. Okay, I'll come to this in a minute. It says, show us the thing. Show us the thing. What did the Council of State see that they decided that a prima facie case has been made? Because the Lord Chief Justice is the people's Chief Justice. He's not elected by NDC people or elected by MPP people. He's a Chief Justice appointed by whoever is President of Ghana. Now, in exercising his authority to appoint the Chief Justice, His Excellency the President is not performing a governance function. He's performing a state function. Political scientists, come and let's talk. State and government. The difference between state and government. Monocephalous executive, bicephalous executive. In bicephalous executive, the head of state is different from the head of government. So if you are in England, it is Her Majesty the Queen that appoints the Chief Justice, not the Prime Minister. The monocephalous executive, inside the president's body, half of it is state, half of it is government. Sometimes he's performing a state function. When President Mahama went to the Ghana Military Academy and was nicely clad in naval wear, he was performing a state function. The commissioning of officers to the Ghana Armed Forces is a state function. It's not a government function. When President Mahama goes to launch Mahama Cares, it's a government function. It's an NDC government function. It's not a state function. When President Mahama nominates somebody for the position of Chief Justice, it is a state function. It's not a government function. So the Chief Justice is a Chief Justice of the state. That is why on Independence Day, you will see the Chief Justice, they will say that the arrival, if you are watching GBC, the arrival of the dignitaries, the Lord Chief Justice, Justice Tokonu, Justice Eni Yeboah, Justice Philip Archer, Justice Aban, whoever it is, they climb up the dais and they sit there. They sit near the president. They are performing a state function. When it's an NDC rally, Justice Tokonu will not be there. When it's an NDC rally, Dr. Manibwama will be there. He's NDC Minister for Defense. He will be there. So we have to understand this principle. That's what the Bar Association is saying. That, Mr. President, you cannot say that you found something against the Chief Justice and it's a secret. So only you know, only you and the Council of States know. This era of social media, of plural media, we cannot accept that. Come and show us the details. What happened? What happened? Come and show us. I'll come to Justice Bar for money in a minute, but let me look at this. Justice Sremsai, the Deputy Attorney General, has been very ballistic. He called the Bar Association document reckless. Justice Sremsai, he says that the Bar Association document is reckless because today he's Deputy Attorney General. After Akufo-Addo gave him scholarship to go and learn, he's a brilliant guy. Akufo-Addo gave him scholarship to go and learn. He comes back and he's a Deputy Attorney General. We all applauded it. And then he says the Bar Association statement is reckless. Okay. How did the Bar Association put their statement together? This is the second statement the Bar has issued. They issued one last week. The Bar Association knew that they had their mid-year Bar conference. So it appears they have two conferences. One is the big one in October also. And then they have this one, the mid-year one. Every member, all the 6,000 members of the Ghana Bar Association are invited to this conference. They went to the conference. 90% of those who attended in person voted for the statement that has been published. Sremsai says that it is a reckless document. Listen to the PRO of the Ghana Bar Association. He says, I don't think it's fair to say decisions have been imposed on us. This is our position. Others may disagree, but it is the position of the bar as adopted by members at the mid-year conference. Xavier Kuje, PRO of the Ghana Bar Association. That's him. It's not that. Okay, that's him. This is Mr. Xavier Kuje. Yeah, I like his tie. This is Mr. Xavier Kuje. Xavier Kuje says that I don't think it's fair to say decisions have been imposed. Now, Sremsai goes about telling the Bar Association that they don't have the capacity to put the statement together, that the thing has been imposed on them by Diana Asonaba Dapa. I mean, that is so insulting for the Deputy Attorney General to say that the leadership of the bar, all of them are his seniors at the bar. Not one is Sremsai's a contemporary. Even me, when I was in law school, Sremsai was not there. Even me. And the leadership of the bar, all of them are his seniors. And he says that the decision was imposed by Diana Asonaba Dapa, the former Deputy Attorney General, the very articulate Diana. I heard her on Asempa. Wow, beautiful. Diana really knows her law. Justice Sremsai, you see, we have to think about Ghana and the systems and the structures. Sremsai can hold that opinion, but he must hold it in the chambers of the Attorney General's office. Discuss with Dominic Aini and Eduji Tamaklu, however they want to do it. They can issue some statements or something. But to come out and say that the Bar Association statement is reckless, is that how Sremsai is going to start the 4 years? This is how he's starting? That he's calling the Bar Association statement reckless? Oh, Sremsai should stop that. Chris Yabua, go and tell Serem side that you should stop that. Oh, we are not small boys in this country at all. As for power, we have seen it, sir. So that power, it means nothing. We were here when Rawlings was here. Me, when Rawlings was voting in 2000, I was with him. If you like, I'll show you the video. I have seen Rawlings in the castle. I have seen it. I have seen it. I have seen Kufuor. We have seen it, sir. So he shouldn't think that the Attorney General's office is anything, something. Oh, no. When Joe Gatti was Deputy Attorney General, every evening I was with him in his office. So we have seen it. It's not anything. But it's something. But it's not anything. But it is also something. We congratulate him for being Deputy Attorney. I think he deserves it. And I think he spoke very well at his vetting. Serem Sai really distinguished himself. And the people who he teaches, they all tell us that Serem Sai is a great lecturer. He should stop that. He shouldn't let the politics get into his head or the NDC thing get into his head and start calling Bar Association reckless. And I'm happy that Xavier came back to say that I don't think it's fair. So to say any decision has been imposed on us, this is our position. Others may disagree, but it is the position of the Ghana Bar Association adopted by the members at the mid-year conference. A position voted upon. They didn't just write it, they voted upon it. Over 90% voted in favor of the statement. So Serem Sai, get it right, Get it right. But we are yet to see what will happen. Because next week, there's a court case that we are going to be dealing with. We are going to be there to cover the court case next week of Asafwa, MP Asafwa, who is asking for the court to make a determination that the place an injunction on the process against the Chief Justice, because Asafwa is alleging that His Excellency the President did not send the document to Madam. Okay, he since sent it through another process, not through the court process anyway. But he's also making another allegation that whilst the pendency of the matter, during the pendency of the matter, the government and the president cannot go on with the process, the pendency of the injunction, that once an injunction is pending before a court, they cannot go on with the process. Now, there is sufficient legal authority to back that thinking. What is the thinking? The thinking is that when a document is filed in court and an injunction is filed, and you are a party to it, and you see that the injunction is filed, the injunction process has been served upon you, you cannot progress with it. There are many authorities, but tonight, viewers, I'd like to show you the foremost authority in this matter, and you will marvel who the judge is. Let's go to the touch screen. It's entitled The Republic versus Bank of Ghana and 5 others. Ex parte Benjamin Dufour. It was this case that got me to know that my great-uncle, Kwabena Dufour, is called Benjamin. Ah, beautiful. Today I'm going to tease him. They say you are called Benjamin, you don't tell us. Every day you say you are Kwabena Dufour. You are Benjamin. Whether you like it or not, you are Benjamin. Listen to this. Look at Justice Bafuboni, the acting Chief Justice. He gave this ruling. Justice Bafuboni. See what he said. When a court is seized with jurisdiction to hear a matter, nothing should be done to usurp the judicial power that has been vested in the courts by the Constitution of Ghana. In effect, the state of affairs before the courts was seized with the matter must be preserved until the court delivers its judgment. This is so whether or not the court has granted an order to preserve the status quo or not. A party to the proceedings will be in contempt if he engages in an act subsequent to the filing of the case, which will have had the effect of interfering with the fair trial of the case or undermine the administration of justice. Justice Bafuboni, the acting Chief Justice. It will be quoted to him. His Lordship will be told that, my Lord, this was your ruling in a Republic versus Bank of Ghana, ex parte Dufour Benjamin. He clarifies here, Justice Bafuboni, my good friend Paul Bafuboni, is a wonderful man. Absolutely incredible. I saw a video of him. He was dancing in the church. He loves the Lord. He's a great guy. Justice Bafuboni, how are you? Good to see you. We share the same name, Paul, and I'm taking from your greatness. But this is what you said, my Lord. This is what you said. You said, where a party, that is the President and the Council of State, knowing that a case is sub judice, they say, engages in an act or omission which tends to prejudice or interfere with the fair trial of the case despite the absence of an order of the court. The party is held. It says, even if there's no order from the court, the fact that the court is seized with the matter, is the court not seized with the application for injunction? The court is seized with it. He talks about something subsequent. Here it is. I'll show you. Where is it? He says that a party to the proceedings will be in contempt if he engages in an act, subsequent to the filing of the case. That is anything that happened subsequent after the case was filed. After Asifwa filed his case, then President Mahama sent the documents to Tokonu, and then they proceeded to go and do prima facie case. Justice Paul Bafuboni says the president, the Council of State, anybody who participated should be held in contempt of the courts. This is what the Bar Association is saying. And then people are in a hurry. Dr. Kwesi Prempeh, please, so we respect you. Please, please. Dr. Kwesi Prempeh, we beg you. We beg you, pa. We beg you. We beg you. We know that you're an American-trained jurist. We beg you. This is the law. Bafuboni is the one who said it. Bafuboni is the one who said it. Many, many people said it, but on this occasion, God has given us a good example. When we're looking for the thing today, my producer called me and said, Chairman, we have something super. I said, what is it? Did you get authority for that? He said, I got it. I said, yes, so put it. I said, no, but you should hear who did it. I said, who? Is it Justice Aban? Is it Dateban? He said, no, it's Bafuboni. I said, hey, Bafuboni, bring it. Okatakyie Afrifa led a demonstration, but he has been leading these demonstrations on Galamsey for a long time. Okatakyie, what was the first demonstration you led against Galamsey? Which year?
Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening to your viewers from far and near. I saw you giving it to my constitutional law lecturer. That's the assessor side.
Oh, he's a beautiful man.
Yesterday he came there. When I saw him, I just bowed and said, "Good evening, sir."
Oh, you saw him yesterday?
Yeah.
Where?
When we were almost done with the demonstration, he came around. He wanted to be sure that all went well, and I think when I saw him, because I revere him. I just bowed and showed him respect. Yes, he is, and he is a very intelligent and brainy person. So when you were giving it to me, I was like, okay, that's my lecture. But then, it is what it is. So you were asking me about demonstrations that I've led in this country.
Yeah, the Galamsey.
Yes, with Galamsey, I've taken different steps. Myself and my colleagues, we've taken different steps in fighting this menace. But unfortunately, people do have selective hearing, selective amnesia. They decide to choose what they want to remember and what they want to listen to. Other than that, we are in this country when I led Fix the Country demonstrations.
With Oliver?
Side by side. But what people forget is that the Fix the Country demonstration, when Oliver came in first, nobody knew Oliver. So it was myself, Captain Smart, and quite a few other people who were known.
Captain Smart was inside?
Yeah, Captain was inside.
Oh, that's
so
interesting.
all of us were at the forefront of the fight. And when we were done, we went to Takoradi to do demonstration. All these were done in the era of Akufo-Addo.
19, 21?
Yeah, that was 2020, 2021. When I was a full member of the MPP, but yet principle is principle. It does not matter who is in government. Besides that, I took it upon myself with my colleague, Kwame Appiah-Kubi of a Kesman Morning Show. We went all the way to Asankregua, and we did citizen arrest when it was about a month or two to election, such a crucial election like 2024. We were the ones that started the fight against Galamsey, which became very topical, if you remember.
Yeah, the 3 months to the election.
And I said, I do not care whether it will go against my party or it won't go against my party. From there, we went to Bomfa Santiachim, where we uncovered that the chairman, the then MPP chairman, I don't know if he's still Chairman Luta, was engaged in some illegal activities. We came out. We said that we were going to expose him. And I did same without having to look back and say that because he's my party chairman, I'm going to overlook things. So this fight...
Didn't the MPP fight you?
Well, obviously, your people will be fighting you, but I don't care. You should know me by now. When I believe in a cause and I am fighting for it, even if it's left with me alone, so long as I am clear with what I'm saying and what my conscience is, I think I'm fine. I don't care whether they fight me or not.
No, I think you've established that credibility, having worked... The Galamsey is your focus.
Yes.
And so what's the latest on Galamsey?
So the destruction of our water bodies, we thought by the coming into force of this government, the social contract between us and them, since we gave them the power, they were going to take some extraordinary measures to deal with the Galamsey activities. But unfortunately, it looks like they are doing the same thing that the Akufo-Addo government was doing and expecting different results. So we sat down and we said that we cannot sit down for the government to throw dust into the eyes of the people. So we need to bring the Galamsey issue at the forefront of our conversation. How could we have done that? The only way we could have done that is to raise awareness first through demonstration, which we did yesterday. It was supposed to take a 3-day demonstration, but upon a discussion with the police today, this morning, we had to put it on hold for the police to reorganize themselves and come back, which when we later in the conversation we probably will go into it.
So you're not continuing tomorrow?
So we are not continuing tomorrow, but the fight still continues unabated. The fight against Galamsey illegal mining.
This issue about some law has to be repealed. I heard Ken Ashibe on Joy FM, I think today, and or yesterday. He was backing you, and he was concerned about a law that should be repealed, that everybody agrees should be repealed during the opposition time with President Mahama. And now they are not repealing it. Can you educate us on that?
So, Paul, this is the petition that we're supposed to send to the president on the last day that we would have been done with the... And we have put in here that 4 things that this government ought to have been doing, but they are refusing to do. One, when they were in opposition, they told us that the Akufo-Addo government should declare a state of emergency on all mining activities so that all of us will come to the drawing board and have a conversation. All stakeholders will have a conversation. Then we will have a cogent plan as to how we can extract our minerals without having to destroy our water bodies and our forests. Yet, more than 100 days in office, the president is unable to declare the state of emergency, which his government was the one telling Akufo-Addo to do. Then in opposition, they told Akufo-Addo to do. We are telling the president that if you can use 3 months to be able to establish a Galamsey board led by Sami Gyamfi.
What's Galamsey board?
The one Sami Gyamfi.
It's a gold board.
I call it Galamsey board because in one breath you say you are against illegal mining. Yet the activities of this Galamsey board is inadvertently going to promote Galamsey.
How?
You say that you want 12 tons of gold every month, but then you are not buying this gold from the big mining companies like Newmont, like Anglo Gold. You are going to buy it from small-scale miners, quote unquote, small-scale miners. When you and I know, Paul, that when we say small-scale mining in this country, it is only on paper that they are described small-scale miners. But the moment they get to the ground, none of the activities are in conformity with the rules that governs the activities of small-scale mining. So when you are a government that sets up a board which says that they are going to target, the main object of the board is to buy gold, and the target is to get more than 12 tons of gold every month from small-scale mining. What are you doing? You are indirectly promoting the illegal mining activities, period. Now, beyond that, we are asking the government that LI 2462, which allows people to enter into our forest and destroy it. Now, when they were in opposition, they argued vehemently that the Akufo-Addo's government should repeal, they didn't say amend, repeal that law. Unfortunately, it looks like they are not being honest with themselves. Right after being voted for, this government say, oh, we've come, we've seen, they want to say good, you know, so for that matter, we are no longer going to repeal the LI 2462, but we are going to amend it. And we are telling President Mahama and his government that that is not part of the social contract that you signed with us. You gave us your word that when you come in, you are going to repeal the LI 2462. Paul, beyond the LI 2462, there is another LI 2404, which stipulates exactly what this government ought to be doing, and yet it is not doing. It has even gone ahead under Section 6 and Section 8 to prescribe how excavators, earth-moving machines, needs to be documented, needs to be tracked, needs to be engraved with serial numbers, unique serial numbers. And even in the event that a person refuses to do same, when they are arrested, they must be put before the law court. And yet this government is refusing to do same. And we are saying that we are going to use the RTI bill right to the Minerals Commission on grounds of the LI 2404 to provide us with the number of excavators, which so far they've been able to engrave per the law that is supposed to help them operate. So clearly this government is unwilling to fight the illegal mining.
Why is that so? Is somebody benefiting from it?
So at this point,
they make money from it?
Of course, you know, Paul. When we started this fight and we got to the Galamsey...
okay, hold on. Let me ask you. Hold on. Let's do a scenario. I'm a politician. I'm a big minister. How do I make money from Galamsey?
Oh, when you... Paul, it's very clear. Those who are the Galamsey side, they know that when people are being given concession, even without you getting into it directly, when you are being given concession...
So I can go to Minerals Commission and say, give concession to Afrifa is my friend.
You don't even sometimes need to go to the Minerals Commission. You have to go to a certain DCE, go to a certain regional minister, and you'll be given a concession area for which you'll be paying dividends to the minister or the DC. This is trite knowledge.
You mean illegal dividends?
Illegal dividends. This is trite
For
knowledge.
getting the concession.
That is the more reason the ministers and the DCEs are unable, that is for want of a better word, to fight the galamsey because they are benefiting directly from it. And we can pretend as though we don't know that these people...
So they bring cash to the minister?
They bring cash to the ministers and the DCEs. And this is knowledge at the galamsey site. Everybody knows it.
Oh, so that's why they are so confident when the police can, they say, oh, clear off from here.
Because the DCU or the MCE is the head of DISEC or MUSEC. So clearly, if the police is going to arrest them...
What is DISEC? So
DISEC, that is the District Security Council. The DCE is the head of it. And if the DC is
like the
benefiting...
National Security Council is headed by the president.
Yes.
The regional is headed by a regional minister.
Then we have the district, which is headed by the DC.
Okay.
But the DC is the one in charge of the DISEC. And if he is benefiting from it, why will he have the political will or the energy to fight that menace? And this is knowledge when you go to Galamsey side.
But Galamsey, isn't that lucrative to pay DC, pay minister, pay...
Paul, I am telling you that they are able to buy excavators worth about $300,000. And they tell us that within 2 weeks, they will be able to make more than $300,000 within 2 weeks. And in a month, they'll be able to double that amount.
Who is buying the gold?
The government now says that they are going to buy it by the passing of the Galamsey Board Act. They are clearly going to buy it. Now, it is no longer a place for a liberal market. The government is going to, it's a state-controlled market. Prior to that, it was being bought by all manner of people. That is through illegal means. So you and I know that when people are benefiting from illegal activities, and I keep on saying that it is the politicians and the traditional authorities that are engaged in these activities. Clearly, we know when you go to the Galamsey side, they will tell you themselves. And national security is here. They've gathered enough intelligence. There's a document that I was working with prior to the elections. It was a national security document that they had gone around the whole country, done a survey on the people that are involved in illegal mining activities. And yet, they will not fight it because these are the very people that sponsor their campaigns one way or the other.
Oh, you mean that Akufo-Addo's National Security had done that work?
Oh, they have done that work.
Oh, that's a
and
good that's a good
there is a document on it which shows which concession site belongs to who or what. And yet, they won't work with it because they are benefiting from it themselves.
But when people come to contribute to politicians for campaign, do they say that this money is from Galamsey?
Oh, clearly they will know it's coming from Galamsey because Galamsey
you know? Because
Galamsey people are known. They are known. They are not even hidden. They are known when you go to
You mean
Kumasi.
those in the pit digging who look very...
They are not the people that owns the big money. How can they get money to go and buy an excavator worth 300,000? President John Dramani Mahama told us that the Akufo-Addo's government is aware of the people that are engaged in illegal mining activities. And for that matter, when they deported Aisha 1, President Mahama vehemently spoke against it, that law was discriminatory, the act of deporting Aisha 1, when in actual fact we are prosecuting Ghanaians to face the full rigors of the law. That is discriminatory. Now he comes to power. Not only is he deporting 1 or 2 of Chinese people, but he says through his Minister of Interior, Mutaka, that now his foreign policy when it comes to the fight against Galamsey is that when he arrests any non-citizen who is engaged in any illegal activity destroying our waters and forests, all he will do is to put the person on the plane and say, bye-bye, thank you for coming to destroy our waters. You go and enjoy all the largesse that you've been able to accrue from illegal activities. And we are saying that Article 17...
I thought that was terrible.
In fact, that act per itself is affront to the Constitution.
Yes,
when you read Article 17, 2 and 3...
Let's talk about 17. Godfrey Dami tells me that when he was Attorney General, he jailed so many Chinese on Galamsey.
Right.
He did. So
now,
those Chinese in prison now, they'll let them go?
Now you, Paul, you've studied law. One of the theories of punishment, when it comes to punishing people, is not just punishing of the person who has committed the act, but it's also serving as a deterrent for people who want to engage in such act.
The prohibition.
So when you are a president, and your foreign policy is that when you arrest Chinese, when you arrest Burkinabes, you are not going to prosecute them. You are not interested in prosecuting them, but you are going to put them on a plane and send them away. What you are indirectly telling them is that the state laws are not going to work. So when I do it and you deport me, I will go and tell Paul that Paul, go to Ghana. It is very lucrative. When they catch you, they won't jail you. And for us, that is discriminatory, which the Constitution and Article 17 clearly speaks against.
But why did Muntaka say that?
Because they have formed Galamsey, Ghana-China Galamsey Board Association.
What's that?
Just recently at Kempiski, we saw Ibrahim Mahama.
The president's brother?
The president's brother. And the crying minister, what's his name?
Crying minister?
The one who cries.
Who is that?
Amakofibua. So,
oh, he's crying?
Yes,
oh,
yes,
yeah, you mean the video that
he was crying?
But he was crying about at Kontama, and he wasn't crying about
I mean, that for me is a crocodile tears. Because he comes from Elembele.
Yes, I know.
That minister comes from Elembele.
Yeah.
And Galamsey activities has virtually ruined the whole of Elembele.
So that's why he was crying?
No. All this while he has not been crying. Now he comes in, and because he understands the psyche of the Ghanaian people, he wants to use this as a means of socially engineering them that we are working is so hard for us. But we tell the minister, if you believe that the activities of Galamsey is so devastating to which you are crying, you go to cabinet, you sit with the president. You should be crying to the president. So President Okatakyie said the activities of Galamsey is so damning, is so devastating, it's an existential threat. And for that matter, the president should go ahead and issue the state of emergency. You are not doing the same. You call a press conference and you come and cry. As soon as you for me, as solve Galamsey issue. Sabi Akufo-Addo ni tissue pa ko behunu so. Eso ka che Akufo-Addo so afeli. I don't want to answer. So Paul, we are saying that the government
in that famous speech, did he cite Galamsey?
Yes,
the
clearly.
famous Akufo-Addo's final session address.
If you say Akufo-Addo has failed.
No, he said that yours is a way not to govern. He told Akufo-Addo that Akufo-Addo
and you think crying is the way to govern? That is a weak leadership that he exhibited right
So
there.
you think that the NDC government doesn't have the political, because
It doesn't have the
George said
political.
within 1 week, Akufo-Addo can stop Galamsey.
And within 1 week, they are not willing to stop Galamsey. They will not. They are unwilling.
Is it that they found out since they came to government that is difficult, or in opposition they knew that they can't?
They knew that they cannot fight it because one way or the other. John Mahama had been in government from 2009 as the vice president, in 2013 as the president. He knew the situation, and he knows that this activity of going to arrest people, burning excavators, doing A, B, C, and D, it is not the way to solve the issue. Because Akufo-Addo had been doing these activities for the past 8 years, arresting people, burning excavators. And you come in and you are doing exactly what Akufo-Addo was doing. So if you knew that you were going to use the same measure to deal with the issue, with the menace that we face, why did you tell us to fight for you and you're going to use extraordinary measures to deal with an extraordinary situation?
Did he use those words?
We are saying it because this thing is an existential threat which we cannot use usual methods to fight it. We believe that the president should go a notch higher by executing the state of emergency that they preached when they were in opposition. For all of us to come back to the drawing board and find our way forward.
And the repeal.
And the repeal of the LI 2462. And again, using the LI 2404 to work. Paul, let me read some portions of the LI 2402.
I'll come to that. But the gold board really said they're going to buy gold not from existing sources that we know, but from small-scale miners?
That is the object of the gold board.
To buy gold from
small-scale miners and not Newmont. Because you can't go and tell Newmont, you can't go and tell Precious Mining, Anglo Gold Ashanti, that when we've gone on a contract with you and you've gained your gold, you should come and sell it to us and not go to the world market. So the gold board is not targeting these big mining companies. They are targeting the activities of small-scale mining. But like I said, when you say you are targeting activities of small-scale mining, of all the hundreds of licenses that has been issued, not even up to 10 in this country conforms with the regulations that governs the activities of illegal mining. Now, what we are saying is that even when you say you've bought gold and you are going to sell it on the world market, Sami Jamfi knows that there's something called traceability reports, which you are supposed to show. Now, when this traceability report shows that your gold was actually extracted through illegal means which affected our forests and waters, it is not going to be bought by anybody at the gold bullion market. So why are they going to sell the gold? Now we need to look into the activities again, because clearly when they buy gold from illegal mining activities, they cannot sell it at the world London bullion market and other places that we sell gold. So where are they going to sell that gold that they'll be buying?
The China-Ghana mining company will buy it.
The China-Ghana Galamsey Association.
It's not Galamsey, it's mining.
No, they just formed it.
They didn't call it Galamsey, you are calling it Galamsey.
So the more reason that they are not interested in prosecuting Chinese is that one breath, they have formed Ghana-China Galamsey Association. How can they be prosecuting the very people that they have formed association with to go and destroy our water bodies and our forest?
So don't they care about the water bodies being
They
destroyed?
don't, Paul, they don't.
They don't?
And they will never care.
I don't believe that.
So what we have done is that Generational Right Protection Society, upon handling of this petition to the president, which will find a way to get it to him, what we will do is that we will give him some period. If he does not act, we will take it a notch higher by writing to all the various missions across the nation and all international bodies that are concerned with the destruction of our environment. We will do that. If that does not also work, you know that there is African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which part of the article speaks about the right to life, right to healthy environment, right to good sanitation and water. We will file a case at the Human Rights Court against the government, that the government's activity or inaction to be able to deal with the Galamsey menace is causing all these atrocities to our people, and it is against the articles of the Human Rights Charter. So if the government does not listen, we will go as far as taking the matter to even International Human Rights Court. So we have a lot in place to be able to force our government to take extraordinary measures to deal with the Galamsey issue. Other than that, if we are going to use this kit close, they will never do anything about it.
Erastus Asaridonko said the excavators are being retained. He posted something today.
So excavators were seized, and a certain order from above, according to Erastus Asaridonko, ordered for the release of the excavators.
Back to the people.
Back to the people.
The people from whom it was seized.
Now, Paul, I was about to read the LI 24004. Section 6 of the LI 2404 clearly tells us that when there is an excavator, an earth-moving machine, there should be some steps taken by the Minerals Commission. Now I read it. Section 6 talks about the marking of earth-moving and mining equipment. So in our means and our quest to fight Galamsey, you and I know that but for the using of excavators, but for the using of earth-moving equipment, probably the devastation that we are seeing would have been minimal. The only reason that this devastation is so huge is because people are using excavators. Now, in our quest to deal with it, Section 6 of LI 2404 says that the commission, and here the commission is Minerals Commission. Minerals Commission, that is, shall record the chassis number and conspicuously mark and label. So all the excavators that are being arrested, there is no mark, there is no label. Minerals Commission does not have data on the chassis numbers. Now let's read forward. It says that all earth moving and mining equipment used for mineral operations with the identification code assigned to the earth and moving mining equipment upon registration with the commission. So even before anybody can go into our forest with excavators, they are supposed to go and register with the commission their excavators, just like registering with DVLA your car. Now it goes ahead to say that monitoring the earth, the mark shall be inscribed or etched in order to prevent people from using different excavators. You are supposed to etch or mark the excavator. Now it says that the mark shall be described on both left and right sides and on top of the earth moving and mining equipment to be used for the mineral operations. Yemusa eye Minerals Commission. Say as it stands now, how many excavators in our forest and one marking are etching a serial numbers and unique identifications number 2. Now he goes ahead to say that the commission shall monitor all earth and mining equipment used for mineral operation using A, install tracking mechanisms and systems for surveillance. Let's ask the commission. This is the law telling you that you are supposed to put some tracking devices in the excavators in our forest. Where are the tracking devices? Have they been able to do that? Are they monitoring? They are not. We are going to file an RTI to the commission to come and tell us how many of these excavators that they have data on. Paul, he goes ahead to tell us that the unmanned area vehicles that include drones for visual and monitoring. So the commission is supposed to be using drones for visual and monitoring. Where are the drones? They are not using it.
Abu Jampo says he doesn't find it, doesn't know where they are.
And nobody is being prosecuted.
Pepon Boateng is the one who bought it.
And nobody is being prosecuted.
No,
we
nobody.
take this lightly.
No, nobody.
Something that is threatening our very existence as a people. We come into government, we throw this into the, drones are container and nobody gets prosecuted. Just for the court of public opinion. Is that what we are going to do? This is the difference that we were promised. This is the reset. But I think we should stop joking. Then he goes ahead to say that owners of the earth moving and mining equipment used for mineral operations shall pay annual monitoring fees to the commission. So even the law is saying that you're not going to use your own money to be able to do the monitoring. And yet the commission is unwilling to be able to do these things. It goes ahead to prescribe that in the event that you refuse to do any of these things as an excavator owner, there is an offense prescribed under Section 8 of this act, that is LI 2404. So clearly these laws are there. The commission, the ministry, this government is unwilling, just unwilling, to be able to take these steps to be able to help us. Because insuo na ekunya maame no mo omo numbi. Insuo na ama ye abatan omo wu ano mo mma na omo nsa omo ani ayira na omo numbi. Insuo na ama obi nyem ano apon no polo omo numbi. Insuo na ama kidney diseases ikosoro omo numbi. It's what we are saying, they can only imagine it, but they cannot understand the plight of the people. And some of us, we've lived it. We've been there. We understand the plight of these people. And we have the voice, we have the platform. We need to fight for what we believe in. And that's what we are doing clearly. Generational Right Protection Society. Just as the likes of Mensa Saba fought the Crowns Act bill to be able to save us a land for the next generation, we believe clearly that we must stand up, we must rise up and fight for the next generation. Other than that, the next generation, I don't want to be counted as such. I don't think you want to be counted as such. So all of us, every Ghanaian, well-reasoning and well-meaning Ghanaian must come on board. It is apolitical. When my party was in government, I fought this menace and I said to myself, if it would take the fight against Galamsey for Akufo-Addo to lose or Bawumia to lose, I don't care. And I still stand by that. In the same
one
vein,
of your photographs of the old one?
Yes, these are the demonstrations I held on several issues. I gave a Akufo-Addo.
But why are you not working with Democracy Hub anymore on this one?
Oliver.
My good friend.
My good friend. Today, I saw he was writing some nonsense on social media.
What did he say?
The demonstration was called off today because the people did not attend. Now, clearly, what is the purpose of demonstration? The sole purpose of demonstration is to raise awareness. As it stands now, as of this morning, the whole of Twitter, we were trending number 1. Galamsey must fall.
Perfect.
The whole of TikTok, we were trending number 1. Perfect. The whole of Facebook, we were trending number 1. So when you've done a demonstration, which in a day, all media houses, it has become a talk of town, everybody is talking about. How do you consider that demonstration as a failed demonstration?
But how many people did Oliver put in his demonstrations? How many were there?
Well, Oliver said he stood in front of the Flagstaff House with 60 people. And for that matter, Oliver, you see, he's my brother. I understand how it hurts when he's not in the forefront, in the middle of discussions. And Oliver, you can keep quiet. I've told you, you are my brother. If you want us to fight on this matter, come on board, let us progress. Because you and I believe you have a genuine heart to fight for the people. Except that some of your methods are sometimes in excess. And I've told you, yesterday we went on a demonstration, a very peaceful one, because we don't want a situation where after the demonstration, the discussions that are supposed to be had will be centered around who beat what, with the,
who removed the police khaki.
So clearly, I want us to deal with this matter. So Oliver, my brother, come back.
Congratulations. Yesterday's demonstration was peaceful. Everything went well.
Right.
And I'm happy that you agreed with the police that it's okay. You made the point. There's no need to go on.
Right.
That's very noble. Let's talk about this. One day I was coming to work and my producer called me and said, boss, Okatakyie has been arrested. And I said, hey, what has he done? He said, we don't know. He's been arrested. So let's find out. So I called my former boss, Ufure Siama, former Minister for Transport. And he said, he's been released. And I said, what was it about? He said he doesn't know. What was that about?
It was with in relation to Galamsey.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes.
Well, your guy, I called your guy and he said you were driving behind him.
Okay, so when I say in relation to Galamsey, I had closed from school. I went to write exams, and when I was coming back, my security team, we noticed that some car was tracking us. So we did some stopovers, and they know when we did some stopovers. So we discussed as to whether we should go or we shouldn't. We came to a conclusion that we should. And at the time that I was veering off from the main Game Pass stretch to Christian Village, we saw a team of several well-built men holding AK-47s, using siren, directing me to park and all that. So when they came in, they said, open your car. I said, no, you don't have any right to sit in my car. You know me. I probably will just resist what they were doing. It got to a point they had to say that if I don't do what they're asking me to do, even let me speak to my lawyer, they will not allow me to speak to my lawyer. We stood there for well over 15 to 20 minutes. a certain call was coming through. Oh, order from above, arrest him, put him, if he won't go, handcuff him, put him. Okay, so at some point I said, let's move. Then they moved me all the way to BNI. That is around the Kaukudi.
Greater Accra BNI.
Yes, around the Kaukuli. When we got there, and I'm sure they picked signals that the social media was buzzing and everything. Quickly, they moved me away from BNI to Blue Gate, the main quarters.
Stadium.
Yes, stadium. I went there for well over 1 hour. And all the interrogations being done by my good friend and brother, Osman Alassan. I didn't even know that he was involved in the arrest. Was that I had made a comment to the effect that some national security operatives were guarding people to engage in illegal mining activities. And that was the basis for my arrest.
They wanted to know who are
they wanted to know, but I said that you national security, you are equipped with all the resources in the world to be able to know who does what or who does not do anything. So if you come and tell me that as a journalist, when I'm giving you information, you have to go through this Rambo style to arrest me, that means I'm not even going to cooperate. So we sat there, we went back and forth. I must also commend Osman Alassan that when he came in, he was very professional. We had a conversation. Then I was released. Subsequently, I was invited again to the national security, following up on the conversations we've had. Then another team from cyber crime unit of the police also came in with a read that somebody had come to make a case which obviously is politically motivated, that I am sextortion, whatever nonsense. I say, okay, clearly. And also, you go me hank of Paul. You walk me all the way to Mifi, to go and do search on a certain warrant. Even the search, at some point, my lawyers have advised that I should not go deep into the matters. So we probably will put it there. But Paul, no amount of intimidation will stop us from fighting for what we believe in.
Oh, so this whole arrest was about this Galamsey issue?
That is what they say.
And then I was in Kumasi when I heard that there's a video that you went to take a wine somewhere, you didn't pay for it. I was completely... So I asked them, where is the place? I'll pay for it. So I thought you had gone to Accra. So I said, show me the place, I'll pay for it.
There's an usual joint that I normally go to, Mr. Peace Wine in Kumasi.
Yes.
That's my friend, and I go and sit there. But I just sent the Mr. Peace Wine. There's a place called Bulldog. And,
yes, Bulldog.
Yeah, Bulldog in Kumasi, a very popular place. But when I go, I don't go to Bulldog itself, but it's just close. So I went to Mr. P's Wine. I had a bottle of wine with my friends and all that, and I left.
The lady said you paid for the wine.
No, but it wasn't even me.
Oh,
I did not see the lady. I did not engage the lady. So I think a friend of mine from the UK also met another group of friends from the UK, which he bought a Hennessy for them at the cost of 1,300. He paid for it. And everything thereof, he paid for it and we left. Now the next day, I saw it on social media. Okatakyie Afrifa. I was like, where is this coming from? So upon inquiry, then it came out that my friend had gone to Bulldog to buy Hennessy. So in the video, you hear the girl saying that, oh, Otto Hennessy, 1,300, that's 13 million. I don't know what you are. But if somebody can pay for 1,300, how much more 65 Ghana cedi?
Oh, the debt in question was 65.
And they were lying that it was 650. It was actually 65.
I was told 600, and I said I'll pay for it.
No, it was not 600. It was actually 2 bottles of Guinness with some water that I think when my friend left, his friends took. So instead of the girl to take the money from the friends, now he was encouraged by one guy called Pepra in Kumasi, who is an NDC, a known NDC member. He is a Galamseya as well. So the grounds for my disgrace was one, because he's a Galamseya, and I'm fighting against Galamsey. Again, because he's a known NDC, and I'm fighting against the NDC supposedly, then he has to put this thing out to disgrace me. But Paul, this is too cheap. If you want to disgrace Okatakyie Afrifa, you must find something more damning to disgrace me. You will see they tell all manner of stories. No, Okatakyie, you're corrupt. Say me you're corrupt here. Abai no abamu wo police wo CID wo bibia. What you mean investigation for Okatakyie Afrifa and kotum so you're corrupt? Now it becomes a social media war of trying to tarnish my image. But I tell them, I am made of a tougher substance than what they think. These things will not perturb me. These things will not let me stop what I am doing any day, anytime. I am going to fight for a cause I believe in, regardless. Now, they came after me which way. It did not stop me. It did not change anything. How much more am I party for? So I want to use this platform to tell them that we are citizens of Ghana. If we believe that something is not right, it doesn't matter who is in government. We are going to fight what we believe is not right. They can use all machinations, all tactics to come after me. But they will only be emboldening me when they do that. They don't have any idea what I am made of. They will just be emboldening me.
On your show, the guys who are doing the Ochere work, I love them. Who are they?
Even with the idea, you won't see them.
And sometimes you quarrel with them. Oh, they make us.
Hey, more from us. But
where do you learn that style from? It's a really good, engaging style. I can't stop watching. I mean, it's just
but when I'm doing radio, I want to be able to interact with the people and get feedback. So when I came, I saw a very fantastic video of yours from 1999.
Yeah, the video.
I'm sure these were the times that you were supposed to look straight into the camera.
Yes. You
and
can't.
speak.
Yeah,
You
no
don't
interaction.
go,
Yeah.
no interaction. I came in and I said that style of journalism I can't do. You know me, you people are too professional with the work. I want to be able to localize
yourself. Yeah.
Yes. So when I'm doing it, now when I was on Angel FM, anytime I'm about to speak, I call them to come and sit down. Okay. So I tell them a story. Then their reaction will give me what I think.
Oh, you want to have an object for the narration.
For the narration.
You don't want to imagine it.
I don't want to imagine it. So it ended up that when I'm talking, then it became it took another 10 altogether. So it wasn't planned.
Oh,
it was just that I wanted to speak to them and their reaction. Then I realized that when I'm speaking to them, they also put in a word or two. Then it became part of our.
So if I come for an interview, which I want to, will they be talking when I'm talking to them?
Oh, that one becomes a one-on-one, so they can probably not distract it like that.
But that's where do you get idea from to start this thing straight after the election?
Okay, so I don't want anything that puts me under some level of control, which I cannot express myself. So before the election, I'm sure you know, I was going ballistic on any person that I think, former President Akufo-Addo and President Mahama, anybody that I think is not doing well. But these are brothers that are in government. They are emotional bunch of people who cannot take criticisms. So they had been calling my boss, former boss, Kokute. They will call him and lambast and cry and cry and cry. So after the elections, when we had quite a few engagements, I just told them that I want to resign. And I resigned. I wrote a letter to resign.
But why does NDC always do that? Why do they want to shut somebody up?
And now as we speak.
I mean, Akufo-Addo never did that.
As we speak, I didn't even want to say, but let me say it here. Kwame Appiah Kubi of Kesben FM. These people have managed to put pressure on Kesben to suspend him. And as we speak, Kwame Appiah Kubi is suspended from his show. Simply because he engaged himself in the demonstration. The Galamsey demonstration, yes.
Are you serious?
Meanwhile, Kwame Appiah Kubi was fighting against Galamsey during the Akufo-Addo era. And his boss was very happy with it. Unfortunately, when we got to the era of John Dramani Mahama, he's not done anything untoward. Just by being part of the demonstration that seeks to fight for the next generation, he's been suspended. That's Kwame Appiah Kubi, Mr. Speaker.
The Kesben guy?
The Kesben guy has been suspended.
What is the reason for the suspension?
The suspension is that he's engaged in activities that will bring disrepute to the company.
And what is the demonstration?
What is the activity? I mean, joining demonstration that seeks to fight for our well-being and the next generation.
A journalist joins a demonstration?
A journalist joins a demonstration. Even some journalists in multimedia, when they try to join it, this government put a serious hit on their managers to caution them. And you know what is happening behind the scenes. Very intolerant bunch of people. Very intolerant.
But they said Akufo-Addo was intolerant.
Not about President Mahama, although he has this smooth face, but very intolerant bunch of people. They are very intolerant. I fought Akufo-Addo's government for 8 years.
Yeah.
It was my government.
Captain
it was my
Smart. He fought it.
But this government is very intolerant, Paul. Very, very heavily intolerant people.
So we should all be careful, eh?
Oh, me, I don't care. I will live my life.
Okatakyie, I have to speak to some other people, but I want us to continue the conversation behind the scenes.
Right.
So I'll ask you to leave me and they will come. And let me take the text messages whilst you leave.
I see you have How to Win Elections by Quintus Zero.
Why did you tell them?